When I was a skinny guy and I was trying to bulk up, I was having a lot of issues because I knew that I had to eat more food so I can bulk up, and I knew I had to do like harder workouts so I could, build more muscle. But no matter how hard I tried, like it just seemed like I wasn't making any progress. I kept stagnating. I was staying at the same place and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. But however, over time I started to learn some new things and I made just some small changes to my strategy, and I've been able to dramatically like improve the results that I've been able to make. So in case you don't know who I am, I'm Neal. I've made the transformation from being that skinny guy to now having more muscle. And I make videos like this to help guys like you to transform their physique. So essentially a big problem that a lot of skinny guys are making when they're like trying to bulk up, trying to build more muscle, is that they're just not tracking. Now, I want you to remember this quote: what gets measured gets managed. Pretty much what this means is that if you're not measuring like your actual like objective inputs, you're not going to be able to change your outputs. For a lot of guys, when they're trying to bulk up, they say in their head, okay, yeah, I'm just going to eat more food. I'm going to eat past the point where I feel full, but they're not actually like measuring how many calories they're intaking. They know that they have to do harder workouts, but they're not actually measuring, okay, are my workouts actually getting harder? Am I, increasing the reps? Am I actually increasing the weights? They're kind of just doing everything intuitively. And if you've been doing that for a while and you aren't making progress, most likely what your bottleneck is, the thing that's stopping you from making progress, is that you just don't have an objective measure. So there's two apps that have really helped me with this. The first is called MyFitnessPal. It's completely free on the App Store. It doesn't matter if you have like a iPhone or Android, like it's on like all mobile like devices. Pretty much you'll just download this, and before you eat or sit down to eat any meal, what you're gonna do is just input what you're eating. It's very simple, and like I love this app because it takes a lot of the guesswork, and it saves you a lot of time. Because before, what I'd had to do was like look up, okay, how much calories is like in a cup of chicken, or like for like a cup of rice, how many calories is in it, and like what's the macros. But when you just like search up in this app, you'll get to understand it like once you download the app and just like play with it for a little bit. But pretty much it does all of the calculations for you. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and again, it helps you to become more objective of how many calories that you're actually eating throughout the day. So if you get in the habit of just every day before you eat a meal, you just input what you're about to eat, over time you're going to build up this data to see how many calories you're actually eating. It's not going to be in your head. You're going to actually know how many calories you're eating. And from that point, you're going to be able to say, okay, well, if I'm not getting weight, let me just increase my calories, like just a little bit more on average. And if you are gaining weight, then, you're in the right zone. I swear this app was such a huge game changer for me, because the thing that a lot of guys don't realize is that your brain plays a lot of tricks on you. Like when you don't have an objective measure, and this goes for like a lot of areas in life where you're trying to make progress. If you don't have an objective measure to like know, like if you don't have an objective measure, it just becomes so much harder to make progress and actually know if you're doing the right things. The second app that has been a huge game changer is this app called Strong. It's free on the App Store for, whether you have an Android or iPhone, doesn't matter. Pretty much what this does is it tracks your workouts. So what I would be doing is I knew that I had to do harder and harder workouts and like increase the difficulty. Pretty much this concept called progressive overload. If you don't know what progressive overload, it's pretty much this concept where over time, gradually, to like build more and more muscle, you have to increase the difficulty of it. Because if you keep doing like the same workout at the same level of difficulty, you're just not going to progress. It's kind of like being in a video game and you keep fighting these level 1 monsters, but then like past a certain point, killing those level 1 monsters, it just doesn't give you any XP to like help you level up to the next level, essentially. So what I started to do is whenever I would do a workout, like say whatever my Monday workout, say you're like on a push-pull split, or say you're on a push-pull split and on Mondays you do push, you're just going to, they like have a template where you can use. So whatever workouts you do on Monday, you just insert that. And over time, like the next week, you can just make a small minor improvement. Maybe you do a little bit more reps. Maybe you increase the weight from what you did last week. And just by making these small improvements, and again, having this objective measure, so you know that you're actually increasing the difficulty and your brain isn't playing tricks on you, now you're going to actually start to build more muscle and like make those gains. again, a huge game changer. It took all of the guesswork. It took all of the, it essentially just didn't allow me to trick myself into thinking that I was doing the right things when I objectively wasn't. You've really got to become more like conscious and aware of like what you're actually doing instead of just like guessing and assuming that you're doing the right thing. It's a huge game changer. By the way, since you've watched this far into the video, I assume that you're very serious about improving your physique. If you want to, you can click the first link in the description. It'll take you to my coaching offer. It's not for everybody, but you know, you just want me to be your personal coach, keep you accountable, and kind of help you to progress in your physique a lot faster. It's available to you. So first link in the description. And remember, if you want things to change for the better, it starts with you. Peace.